this intake is on our way. This whole big turtle looking right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this pipe. Very simple, just pull on it. We're gonna disconnect this sensor here. We're gonna take off this 10 millimeter here. Not take it off, loosen it. We're gonna loosen this right here. This duct pipe should just come off, or we just push this to the side, or we'll remove the, you know what, instead of losing this, we'll just loosen up the bolts on the air filter housing here, so the whole thing could go this way. All you need is a few millimeters, and then we got some coolant lines down there, I believe, or we don't. Okay, this one doesn't have coolant lines. Some throttle bodies have coolant lines. So we're gonna disconnect the throttle body. So okay, if you get a check engine, that's fine. What we're gonna also do is we're gonna disconnect this little guy right here, and you're gonna take this connector out of here. And very important, you put this back on. And we're gonna take off this. We're gonna take off that 10 millimeter right there. We're gonna disconnect this as well. Let's do it right now. Nah, come on. Sometimes you need a screwdriver. There you go. Okay, all we got left is this and a few things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off right here, 10 millimeter, and the housing has 8 millimeters. So, and then very important pipe. You see this pipe right here? This is it goes through the brake booster right there. Very important. If you leave this out, once you're done, make sure you put this back in. We're gonna take this clamp, push this out of the way, and once everything is out of the way, nothing is connected. Also, this pipe gotta go. We're gonna take off 10 millimeter all around on this top cover here. And there's a 10 millimeter. They are different sizes, okay? So keep them in order, okay? And make sure you don't drop nothing inside. Very important, okay? Anyways, let's get this job going. And what we're gonna do is we're also gonna take off the ignition coils later on, but let's get the intake off first. Once we get the intake off, we're gonna put a rag so nothing can fall inside the engine. Anyways, let this job begin. Okay, so what we're gonna do is this duct pipe is kind of cracked right here. You can see it's broken right in the center, so a new one would be a good idea. Okay, and this was loose, so definitely gonna order my new duct pipe right here. You can see it's cracked, and even down here it's cracked. Hard to see with the light, but you see that? Look at the condition of it. Anyways, mass airflow sensor, if this is cracked, you're gonna get lean codes. Okay, anyways, we'll replace that. And what we're gonna do is, you see, so it's not even held by that. So we're gonna go get some we're gonna get needle nose pliers, remove this, and then we're gonna get number 8 millimeter here. One thing I want to say is don't put any of your bolts up there. Don't put anything up there, because anything that you hit can just fall down. You're not even gonna know how many bolts fell down. So let's take off this clamp. Let's take off. See how sometimes the pipe just moves with it. So sometimes you could just push the pipe with it. And very important pipe here, vacuum line for brake booster. So make sure this baby goes back on. So what we're gonna do is, so I'm gonna get that off. No problem, we'll get that off. Same thing here. You have to, sometimes these pipes, they won't just come out that easy. And it's better you just take your needle nose and just help them out, support them a bit. Sometimes you can just push them back. Sometimes your clamp is not all the way out. You think it's out, but it's not. So this was holding a little bit. So I'm gonna go a little bit more back, and now things should be easy. Okay, I will get that off as well. And I am gonna take off this clamp. This clamp is not easy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect this. So we're moving little by little. You're gonna see me have this off, probably not in front of the camera, but anyway, I'm gonna switch up my socket. Got an 8 millimeter. Remember, you don't want to put nothing in there. Not even tools, not bolts, because anything there, just check. Sometimes there's some things left behind from another repair. So that thing is there. You don't want nothing falling in that baby. So what I'm going to do next is 8 millimeter. Sometimes these bolts won't even come out. They will strip from the bottom. That's fine. That's okay. And there's one back here somewhere. I'm going to have to get a longer extension probably. Yep. And there you go. So if the filter looks dirty, change that as well. Okay, so I still gotta get the one back here. There you go. Loosen them completely. Sometimes they hold on a little bit and they will not come off. Okay, if you're replacing your filter, this is what you're gonna be doing. Okay, make sure this MAF sensor, once you're done, is connected. If you turn on the key by any chance you're gonna have a check in your life for all these sensors. Okay, it's okay, just reset it. Disconnecting the battery wouldn't be a good idea because your radio code will activate. Anyway, so far looking good. Let me take off these pipes, and what you want to do at this point is this whole thing will come off. This is broken. Remember, this is broken. It's fine for. Oh, there's another pipe down there, but this is all part of it. It's one pipe, so I'm gonna have all this pipes off. Okay, so far I got all the pipes off, vacuum lines. This is down here, you got 2 cooling pipes. We're not taking them off, okay? We're not taking them off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the throttle body, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a seal in between. So when you take this off, go slowly and we'll do it together. You don't wanna break that seal. So at this point, we don't even need to disconnect this little guy. So we'll just let this thing hang down this way. Okay, so next up, 12 millimeters on this. So what I like to do is let's go on the harder ones first. So one in the bottom here. And okay, my socket just turned sideways. It's loose. So let's loosen this up. There you go. There you go. And I'm gonna put this to the side. Don't worry, I'm gonna remove it before we even get to the intake part. And I'm gonna take off this little guy in the bottom here. Guy comes off. You got 2 nuts in the top. 1, I'm gonna loosen it a bit, and 2. Okay, my socket stayed behind. It's okay. And you don't want to drop these. It's gonna be hard for you to find them down there, so make sure you grab them really good. And this guy comes off. Okay, now we're gonna take off the throttle body. We're gonna just slide it forward and leave it to the side. So I don't want to take my bolts, put them there. Okay, now remember there's a seal in between. There's a seal right there. So there should be nothing else holding this throttle body, and just the pipes in the bottom. But we got more than enough clearance. So sometimes you need to wiggle this guy a bit. So let me get this going. Sometimes you had to kind of tap it, and one hand sucks. Anyways, let me try to break the tightness loose out of it, and then we'll start continuing to record. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're pulling this forward. Okay, it's okay if your throttle body doesn't go all the way because these pipes, because what we can do is lift up the intake and slide the intake out of here, but make sure everything is loose. So we can let this sit right here. Our gasket didn't break into pieces. Okay, so that's perfectly good. So what I want to do is I'm going to take off this 10 millimeter, and then we want to observe if there's anything else around it. If any of this harness is holding it, but I don't think any of this harness is holding it. But this pipe looks kind of crappy, but that's fine. And you want to take off this pipe right here. Same thing. Okay, take the clamp off. Try to wiggle this around so it become loose, and after that you can just use your needle nose. This is how I took off all the vacuum lines. That is the only way. And this baby comes off, and this is gonna stay with the intake. I'm sorry, with the valve cover. Okay, so that's that. What I want to do is I want to got this 10 millimeter here, so we do got a bolt right here onto this evap purge valve. This is a purge valve. Wrong way. You can loosen this bolt and then do it by hand. Should come off. It's not a small job. This is kind of, it's a high-tech job. Okay, so there is one more bolt in the bottom. There's 2 bolts, not 1. So I'm gonna decide, since we already have disconnected this. So if I disconnect the bottom pipe, it should come off, but I'm gonna go get just a socket and get the bottom bolt off. Just like this bolt, this one in the bottom. Okay, so I got this 10 millimeter off, and this is loose, it's out of the way. So now we're gonna get critical here. We're gonna take off all these bolts, keep them in order, okay? And some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, some of them are nuts. So pay attention. Okay, so here goes nothing. One. Whoops, it's not supposed to do that. Okay, all I want to do is loosen them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got a nut here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops, there you go, 12. So am I correct here? This is a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 all together. Okay, so observe them. If they're the same length, good. If they're not, so far they all same length. I'm gonna leave the nuts behind. That'll be the last thing I take off. There's another one. Working on this good old V6. If you got a TL pilot, they're all the same thing. Okay, there you go. Okay, so far they're all the same size. I'm gonna just put them here. Even this is same. Okay, so I'm guessing they're all the same. I've done so many of these years back. I know something. Maybe the bolts inside. Yup, the bolts inside. The bolts are on the inside. So this little guy will come apart, and there's a gasket there. So if you want to leave that gasket alone right there, that's fine. Okay, if you get a new one, replace it. But anyways, that's what it is. This baby comes right off. We're gonna put this right here safely. Okay, so far looking good. Inside here, you don't want to drop nothing. Okay, we got a bolt. We got all these bolts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 12 millimeters, not the 10 millimeters. The 12 millimeters. That's what we're taking apart. So we're gonna loosen them. Remember, there's nuts in here, so you don't want to and then they fall inside. Go easy on them. Okay, I want to got some rags here. I'm gonna let them sit over here. So just for safety, I'm gonna just stick this guy in here. Just for safety for that one little nut. Then I'm gonna loosen it up. It's loose. And I'm gonna fish it out. Remember, you cannot drop this little guy. Because if you drop it, you're in trouble. I'm in trouble. We're all in trouble. Trying to get this guy from down there is not gonna be fun. And this rag is kind of bothering me now. So you want to do this slowly and gently. Once it's to the top, you want to start grabbing it. And okay, it keeps catching the one last thread. Okay, it's not fun. Okay, there you go. We're gonna take this baby and we're gonna put it right here. Okay, remember you got one more nut in here. Okay, once you have that off, these bolts are really not a big deal. You can't drop them, but they're super tight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen them all off, and then we'll take them all out together. Okay, so I pre-loosened them all, and I took off that nut from right there. So what we're gonna do is a bolt. They're all loose, so you can just let them sit like that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't lose that one. So I'm gonna take my ratchet and I'm gonna get that. All you need to do is lift this, lift this, lift this. Don't drop nothing in there, even these bolts. Once they go to that spot, magic spot, you're never gonna get it. So that one's gotta come off too. So I'm gonna put these to the side. So I'm gonna get that last one out, and once I have that off, we'll come back. Okay, so this is the only good angle I could get with my camera to be mounted. My mount is broken, but anyways, I got that last bolt from right here out, the one I couldn't see. From this angle, you can't see that one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7 bolts and 2 nuts. So total 2, 4, 6, 8 together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up this intake. Okay, remember you got studs in here. The 2 nuts that come out, those are studs. So this needs to go pretty high. It needs to go straight up. Our throttle body might bother us, so it is gonna bother us. I thought it would not affect us, but I'm gonna try to get that throttle body out of there. Okay, So I had more than enough clearance to get that throttle body. I did not disconnect the pipes on it. I'm going to show you that in a moment. But all you want to do is you want to lift this up straight. Nothing can fall in there, okay? Nothing can fall inside there. Okay, I put my throttle body down. So we're going to cover up these bores, okay? These holes. Nothing can fall in there. Nothing whatsoever. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how to do the valve cover here. It's the same procedure in the back. Okay. You're not going to see me do that one, but it's the same procedure. You got a little bit of harness going to bother you there. So you're going to have to work some magic. Try to push that harness out of the way. Lift it up a bit. You're going to have to disconnect. You're going to have to take off 10 millimeters of these. And it is a little difficult in the back. But other than that, you see the throttle body? You still got the pipes on. I still got the pipes on that. So I had more than enough. You just got to yank it a bit and let it just come out. Anyways, take your rag. First thing first, you want to cover up this, okay? You don't want nothing going in here. You don't want nothing falling in here. Very important. Very important. Okay, if you got better rag than me, got 2 rags, put them on because you don't want nothing in there. You don't want that trouble. Been there, done that. Anyways,